He made her sign a prenup when she was broke. 6 years later, she paid cash for an Audi. Then he asked to void the prenup. When we got married, I was 26 in graduate school and broke in a very specific way that graduate school makes you broke, where you have just enough to be okay, but not enough to feel it. He was 31, established in his career, good savings, paid off car, 401k doing what 401ks are supposed to do. The gap between us financially was real and significant, and he knew it. And before we got engaged, he told me he wanted a prenuptial agreement. I signed it, no argument, no negotiation, no conditions. He had more to protect than I did, and that was simply true. I understood it, I respected it, so I signed it. That was 6 years ago. I am now a CRNA. For those unfamiliar with what that means, I'll explain it. CRNAs are advanced practice nurses who administer anesthesia. It is a highly specialized role that requires years of additional training beyond a standard nursing degree, and it is compensated accordingly. I currently earn 3 times what my husband earns. Last year, I paid cash for an Audi. My retirement account, at current projections, will be significantly larger than his when we retire. I say all of this not with hostility. I love my husband. We have a genuinely good marriage. This is just where we are. The financial picture looks completely different than it did when I was in grad school and he was the one who was with the savings account. Last month, he saw the Audi paperwork. He asked if we could sit down and talk. He said, and I'll give you his exact words. He goes, "I've been thinking, and I wonder if it might make sense for us to revisit the prenup, maybe even void it." I looked at him and I laughed. Not a mean laugh, not a cruel, calculated laugh, just the genuine, involuntary response of a person who heard something that her brain found genuinely funny. My body just did that before I could even decide how to respond. He was not amused. He said I was being dismissive, that it was a serious conversation, that the prenup had been signed under very different circumstances, and that circumstances have changed. I agreed that circumstances have changed. I told him that the prenup had protected both of us when it was signed. Him because he had assets, me because I had the right to keep whatever I built. And that still protected both of us now, just differently. The instrument didn't change, the numbers did. He called his mother, and his mother called me selfish and short-sighted. His sister texted to tell me I was punishing him for believing in me, and that he had married me when I had nothing, and that this was how I was repaying that faith. I thought about that one for a while because it's a real argument presented in good faith, and it deserved real consideration. And what I kept coming back to was this. I signed the prenup in good faith too. I signed it with student loan debt and no savings account, trusting that this person loved me for who I was and who I was going to be, not as a hedge against whether I'd ever amount to anything. That's the faith that was extended to me, and I honored it. I have offered to sit down with a financial advisor together because I think that that's a reasonable thing for married people to do. He hasn't taken me up on it yet. We're still talking. I don't know how this chapter ends, but I know where I stand. He asked me to trust him then. I did, completely without condition. The prenup stays. Yes, do it. Because, in all fairness, she's protecting herself now, just like he protected himself then. So, he's butthurt. He can get over it. If he still makes a pretty comfortable salary and has his savings and 401k and all that crap, girl, stand your ground. Boy, stand back. Just enjoy the relationship and stop fixating on the money aspect of it. Money always ruins relationships. It drives me nuts. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening to the whole story. I read full stories, leave no cliffhangers. Follow for more. I post daily.